Everyone. So when the PFL signed Francis Ngannou, which was a good move for them at the time, they did some things wrong. Number one, they overpaid for him. Number two, that caused them from growing their roster internally. And number three, most importantly, they allowed him to do this boxing. And if we remember, that's something that Dana White was never going to allow to happen. And we're going to get into that. But first, I need you guys to like this video, drop a comment, drop a question, and most importantly, punch that subscribe button, please. Okay. When you train MMA at a professional level, just by osmosis, your straight boxing skills suffer. When you train as a boxer, your MMA skills suffer. You can be good at both, yes. But can you be top-notch at both? No, you can't. It's just impossible. So he's 38 years old now, and there's no way he's going back to MMA. I don't care what the PFL says, and they haven't finalized their heavyweight roster for the upcoming season, or like their pay-per-views, whatever they're going to call them. PFL's a mess. But he's not coming back. What's he going to do? Come back and maybe if they bring in Valentin Moldavsky or Steve Mowry, what's he going to do? Fight them for what? Like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 and not box somebody for 20, 30, 40 million? Or even 10 million? I mean, the numbers don't lie. Okay? The fact of the matter is, there's just massive money in boxing compared to MMA. And besides, what are those guys going to do? Last two rounds? Yeah, they can strike. Mowry has the wrestling skills, and that's always been a weakness for Francis. But no, he's not going back to MMA, okay? He is going to continue this boxing half of his career. Now, like I said, he's 38 years old. So he's not going to go on some heavyweight title run, even though heavyweights tend to hold their power later than other divisions. The Fury and the AJ fights were spectacle-type fights, right? I don't think there are spectacle-type fights left for Francis Ngannou. I mean, he's not going to fight Alexander Usyk, okay? Usyk is not going to do what's left of his career fighting Ngannou when he can be fighting real boxers, okay? He's not going to fight Daniel Dubois or Joseph Parker or Zhang, okay? Sure, those fights might be fun and interesting. They're all in the title picture. They're not going to waste their time with Francis. Originally, I thought F.A. Ajagba and Martin Bakole would be interesting fights, just because of the whole Congo, Nigeria, African connection. But they're fighting each other, and they're that next level for real heavyweight titles, and I don't see them wasting their time with Francis. Derek Chisora and Jarrell Miller, on the other hand, have the name recognition where their names can go up on the marquee with Francis. But frankly, neither one of those guys has the gas tank. Now, that might be something that Francis and his team, gotta love guys that speed down side streets. If that might be something that Francis's team is looking for. Somebody that is good but just doesn't have the cardio to go long. Probably I'd say Derek Chisora more than Jarrell Miller. Hershevek and Ottawa Lean just don't have the name recognition. And quite frankly, neither one have the chins to hold up to Francis. So maybe Francis wants to target an easy win after, taking a bunch of losses in boxing. That could be another path that he goes. I thought Jared Anderson might be interesting for Francis, but it depends. Does Bob Arum want to take his now mentally unstable heavyweight and completely wreck him? Because here's the deal. Yes, Jared Anderson just picked up a unanimous decision win. But he gassed out, and if there was a couple more seconds in the 10th round, he would have been knocked out against Marios Kolias. I don't think you want to play with Jared Anderson's mind right now. I really don't. Andy Ruiz has a name recognition that could go on the marquee. He has fast hands. There's still some good power. He has a good chin. He could fight off his back foot, which you figure Francis would pressure Andy Ruiz a little bit. The only thing Andy Ruiz lacks, as we all know, is focus. But I think Francis could go toe-to-toe and maybe pick up a win against Andy Ruiz. I think so. And then we come to Mr. Bronze Bomber himself, Mr. Bomb Squad, Deontay Wilder. The fight's interesting because both of them hit like a Mack truck. That's the only reason. Right now, Deontay is so mentally shot. Talk about Jared Anderson being mentally shot and Ruiz being a little bit mentally shot. Geez, Deontay Wilder right now is a shell. He is a shell of what he used to be. I don't know if Deontay wants that fight, really. Does it make sense for him to come back and take a fight like Francis where he could go to sleep? Now, look, Malik Scott had Deontay actually improving some skills. He had him fighting off the back foot a little bit. Deontay still has that solid jab. Obviously, the touch of dim mock power, lights out. But he's low punch output, and he stays on the center line, which spells bad news. Because Francis, as a boxer, has good hand speed. He picked up everything he was taught really, really well. So if you're slow and you stay on the center line and you don't move side to side, you really don't want someone with power coming back at you with fast hands. Who do I think Francis Ngannou fights? Despite me just saying that it really makes no sense for him, I think it's Deontay. I think it is going to be Deontay. And I think so because they both have a relationship with Turki al-Sheikh. And obviously that fight would go down in Saudi Arabia. You know, God forbid they have it here in the States. Personally, I think it would be better if he fought Andy Ruiz. 1, maybe Derek Chisora number 2. But I think Turki al-Sheikh is going to push it to be Wilder and Francis. And like I said, he'll make more money in that than 20 MMA fights combined. So guys, let me know who you think Francis is going to fight next. Please like this video. Please share it out. And most importantly, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, I appreciate it greatly. And until the next video, Cyclone saying, peace out, homies.